demonizing of a plant that less than 20 years ago was on the cusp of general acceptance will surely puzzle historians of the future. They will wonder why it was the drug war of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s that fought the vast majority of its battles over marijuana. They will wonder why, during this period, Americans jailed more of their citizens than any other country in history, and while one of every 3 of those were imprisoned because of their involvement with drugs. Nearly 50,000 of them solely for crimes involving marijuana. And they will wonder why Americans would have been willing to give up so many of their hard-won liberties in the fight against this plant. For in the last years of the 20th century, a series of Supreme Court cases and government actions specifically involving marijuana led to a substantial increase in the power of the government at the expense of the Bill of Rights. As a result of the war against cannabis, Americans are demonstrably less free today.
We're talking about the drug war, people. It's mind control, corruption of your thoughts, destruction of your soul.
By the way, the head of the DEA, his name is Rob Bonner, is a friend of mine throughout the first George Bush administration, documented that yes, the CIA was involved with the importation of a fair amount of cocaine with regard to the Iran-Contra, etc. But it just has to happen because of the money.
Bullcorn.
We understand what you're saying. A ton of cocaine was smuggled into the United States of America.
Well,
In cooperation with the CIA?
that's exactly what appears to have happened.
You know by now, if you've been watching, stop bitching, start a revolution. You are with the Department of Freedom. So kick back and check out the show. You know? Yeah, people now. You're with the Department of Freedom. I got something to tell you. This ain't no democracy, you see. It's a constitutional republic. You see, you're with the Department of Freedom. Yeah. It's a libertarian party. Come on, people. You see, under the Department of Freedom, talking about the under the Department of Freedom, some of these federal agencies and these bureaucracies and some of these non-governmental organizations, you see, they gotta go. And I don't care if it's the hell you know. Let me tell you something. Department of Freedom, and this ain't no democracy, and this is a libertarian party. Ain't gonna be no CIA, ain't no how, ain't no way, no, 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 no. And how about that DEA, and that FBI, and that CFR? How about that United Nations? How about that UN and all those other ABC agencies like the p.s.a. I got something to say. Right there. I'll get it on. You gotta wake up, people, man. You gotta know. You gotta wake up, people. You gotta know.
Don't let free speech go up in smoke, man.
The world's leading jailer, the United States of America.
I want to be a hippie god that gets no marijuana.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Talk it out.
What's up there, beautiful people? You gotta know by now, man, you're hanging out Institute of Higher Learning, man. We are the Department of Freedom, and I am Psilly Willy. And over here is my brother of another mother, Mr. Buzzy Zipwhack. That's right. You gotta know we're talking about the war on drugs here on Stop Bitch and Start a Revolution. The war on drugs is on trial for the next half hour because you gotta know, people, when freedom is outlawed, only outlaws are free. Oh, what? When freedom is outlaws, only outlaws are free. That's right.
Here we are.
Come on, we're looking free in the police state of America, one nation under surveillance. Now, come on, Buzzy.
No place left to run either.
Buzzy, you know, as putting our minds together to put this program together, you know, I love expanding the worldview and learning more about how this war on drugs works. And boy, I was just reading from the 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati. And let me roll this one on by Fritz Springmeier. You familiar with the man? Puts out some good documentary as well. He says this, people, check this out, man. He says, as an example of how ingenious these plans are to create a one-world government, all right, consider the following part of it. The drug war is not what it seems. Isn't that what we've been telling them all along there, Buzz? You know, it is a very ingenious scheme, all right, to enslave the American people, ho-ho, and to destroy all of their civil rights. He calls it satanic at its heart, and I agree with the man. The drug war seems like the perfect plan. That's right. It says, with no way for the power, we'll call the power to lose, the people who are behind it all, okay, the power would make billions of dollars by running drugs, the CIA, whoa, to further finance other nefarious schemes, Operation Paperclip and every other operation that we could think of. But that was way before they started using all the heroin and cocaine to support their covert operations, and could use their worldwide power to crush all their competitors. Isn't that a good strategy there, Buzz? Wipe out all the competition? Okay, when that power, Buzz, okay, crushed and arrested their competitors in drug running, they would be hailed as heroes by the majority of the people. And as you know, they have. The introduction of drugs into society does several things, folks, and, you know, Mr. Springmeier mentions a few. He says, well, it taxes the Christian churches, that's right, and their ability to oppose immorality. He says it gets the public indignant about drugs, and the public's moral outcry allows the power to pass drug laws that remove the last vestiges of legal civil rights. That's what we've been telling you. This drug war uses the ignorant in the society to bring in laws, to bring in the New World Order. And if the cops, the DEA, CIA, whoever it is, we know there's good people out there with good intentions, but we also know good intentions pave the way to hell. That's right, people. In fact, let's see here what they go on to say. The beguiled public demands the laws which abolish their rights and applauds these laws, Buzz, in ignorance, unknowing what the laws actually saying mean. If the public somehow gets a complete picture that their government has been smuggling drugs to create a drug war in spite of the controlled media, or perhaps through the media at the right time. Now, this is important, folks. What he's saying right here is that these people in power have created this war on drugs, all right, so that they can create a scandal involving several U.S. presidents to eliminate the U.S. government and switch the public's allegiance to a world government. Ho, ho, ho. And as an ex-Mason who is very aware of their plans, said to this particular author, Mr. Fritz Springmeier, these people are in it for the long term. Stop bitching, start a revolution. What do you got to say about that? Any commentary on that, Buzz?
It's quite feasible. I mean, you know, the love of money is the root of all evil. I mean, who knows? It
Easy money.
Well, that as well. I mean, who knows? Obama could be, because he's not a citizen, that could be one of the catalysts that just collapses our government, as well as the economics.
Yep.
You know, but it makes perfect sense, folks, because, You know, when you want to do something, especially on a large scale like what the CIA does and the DEA and any other federal, you know, the FBI, they do all these
bureaucracy, non-government
all these undercover operations.
Ooh.
And you know, it's also because they have an elitist attitude that we're here to protect the people, and they develop this elitist attitude that, you know, it's beyond our comprehension of what we're being protected from, so we have to save the people from themselves, so we deserve to take this money and go and protect everybody from themselves.
Socialism.
Is part of the attitude.
Fascism, more rightly, people.
It's this Gnostic attitude that's superior attitude, I believe. You know, same thing like with the police department, who we were talking about last week.
Excuse me?
Well, it's the same thing, you know, that people are guilty, that, you know, how the police look at us as we're all guilty of something.
And their job is to go out and prove it.
Right, and what are they protecting us from, though? You know, I mean, are they so much more, are the police above the citizenry? Are they special?
That's what they're taught in their academies, according to Jack McLam.
Right.
Come on, folks. We got to show you a little snippet of a video right now, all right? It has to do with, you know, SWAT teams out of control. These people are looking forward to making some reform within the SWAT community across this country. And so they're asking us to call for it. What is it? Change, reform within the SWAT communities. Last week, if you were here with us, Buzzy, tell them about what happened, you know, to Mr. Che Calvo. His house got busted in, ransacked, but what was the one thing that you wanted to mention?
To top it all off, you know, after when he was asking for a warrant, because in this country there still is such a thing as an arrest warrant, or search warrants are still required.
What you're saying, he didn't ask for it. He was never served it.
He was, well, right. He said, where's the warrant? They said it was en route, which it took 3 days to actually get there. When when his attorney was shown the warrant that supposedly permitted the search of his house and the raid
killing of his dogs
and killing of, well, that part,
ransacking of his house for
dude,
4
that sounds
hours.
just like a video game. I'm serious. The way you described that, I could not help but think of a video game.
Come on, buddy,
you know?
roll.
Anyways, right, it was supposed to be, shockingly he discovered that it was not the no-knock warrant required to forcibly enter someone's house. Instead, the judge approved a standard search warrant designed to be handed to someone at their front door. So in other words, they should have knocked on the door, waited for someone to answer, say, we have a warrant to search your house, step out of the side, away.
And someone from that law enforcement community came out and said that there is actually no no-knock warrants provided within that community. Now, folks, check out this video. We got it from our good friend Captain Joint's webpage, all right? And check it out and tell us what you think. Our cops, your friends.